Hello, in this video I want to talk about why testosterone replacement therapy did not work for me the first time that I tried. So I had been researching TRT for 4 or 5 years, really, as something that I saw as both a potential relief to the health problems that I was facing, but also something that was just making more and more sense to me as I aged. And I always knew 40 I would be on testosterone replacement therapy. So when I did reach 40 and I was still feeling awful, I knew it was the time. But I did have one false start before that. I think I was 38, maybe even 39. I was speaking to the doctor about my symptoms and she said, yeah, look, you could try testosterone replacement therapy. She's like, you have 2 months before your natural system starts to shut down. I don't know if that's accurate or not. But she was like, look, you can try this for a little bit and see if it does help you. She started me on 250 milligrams every 2 weeks. And anyone that knows anything about TRT already knows why this didn't work out. 250 milligrams is a large dose of testosterone. I'm on half of that now. And also, 2 weeks is far too long. Testosterone in anthate, stays in your body for about 5 days, essentially 5 to 7 days. So that means if you're basically doing one big blast of testosterone, and then after a week you're running on, well, I want to say essentially nothing, but also I might have still had natural testosterone. I might have, likely was still making natural testosterone then. So it may have been the high dose and the infrequency of injection that made it not work, but I'm much more inclined to think that it was estrogen. Looking back now, it makes much more sense to me that I, had my first TRT shot, which I'll get to in a minute, that process. And then, look, I don't know how long it takes for the body to aromatize testosterone into estrogen, convert testosterone into estrogen. But I'm thinking that's why I would just feel awful. I would have the shot at the doctor's clinic, feel great for like 4 days, and then just crash and feel awful. So it was either the high dose and infrequency of injection, or it was bit of a chubby. I still got a bit of a chub going on now, but back then even more so. Higher fat equals higher aromatase, the enzyme that converts testosterone into estrogen, meaning higher conversion from testosterone into estrogen. Now, the first time that I did go for my injection, I decided the night before. I was just like, fuck this. I'm so done with this. I'm so over this. And I made the commitment, and I even slept better just because I felt like, okay, finally, I'm just doing this and whatever. Went to discussed it with her. And I spoke with her about the last time. I was like, yeah, look, we did try this a year or two ago and it didn't really work out for me. But I still feel average. So why not? What really do I have to lose? Am I going to feel more crap? So I did, and I felt it. So that was a 250 milligram injection in my butt, which they actually hurt more than my injections now. So maybe it was the area, whatever. Topic for another video. But I felt that day. I live half an hour from that clinic, 20 minutes from that clinic. And I felt even by the time I got home, I remember smells being just smelling much more obviously, and the colors were brighter. I don't want to say that, but it's actually true. I remember just feeling overall better. Now that may have been a psychological impact because I said it had taken years to build up to this point. So when I did finally get that first TRT shot, something in me was just like, oh, you've committed, because this time after the first false start, this time I was just like, I'm going to commit to this because a friend of mine who has successfully been on TRT for many years, older than me, looks great, feels great, crushes most areas of his life. I remember him saying to me once, this took me so long to dial in. And that's when I thought, yeah, look, I didn't dial it in last time. It didn't work, so I just quit. I was like, that's not the way to, well, at least in this regard, I don't think it's the way to do it. And obviously now I'm really glad that I stuck with it. But in another video, I'll talk about the first 4 months that were just really rough and what I did to improve that. But yeah, this video, even the next day after my first TRT shot, I slept well. I felt amazing. And I remember day 4 being just this pinnacle that I remember crying. I remember waking up and just feeling so good. I didn't need a coffee. I didn't need anything. Like, I just felt great. I felt like going out and going for a walk. And it was just like, I was in tears. I remember calling people. I hate talking on the phone. So, you know, for me to just call someone and say, I feel great. What's up? Yeah, it was massive for me. And then, of course, after day 5, it started to, so that was my that was my first testosterone replacement injection. Moral of the story is, yeah, well, there's no moral. This is just me recounting my story. So hope it was interesting.